Sports for Real with Coach Hall. Yeah, let's go ahead and get it on out of the way and talk about the NBA playoffs. It's kind of hard for me to do because the whole game itself has become hard to watch. Be that as it may, it still play for a championship, and I want to talk a little bit today about the playoff format. Years before, they had the basic 16 teams, 8 in the West and 8 in the East, and you take the common format 1-8, 2-7, and so on and so forth until you get on down to the playoffs. But with this new Commissioner Silver, he came up with this play-in format, and I think it's pretty neat the way it's lined up. Take, for instance, in the East, you have the Hawks going down to Miami in an 8-7 game. Just by 8-7, it don't jive with the normal format. And in the other playing game, you have 9-10. You have Chicago going into Toronto. Now, how it works is you're trying to find the 8th seed. Well, actually 2 seeds. Take the Heat and the Hawks. If the Hawks win, they will automatically go to be the number 2 seed and take on the Celtics. I believe it's the Celtics. And the loser of that game, because they're the higher seed over the 9-10, will take on the winner of the 9-10 game. So basically what you're doing, instead of just falling off as a 9 seed and you don't make the playoffs, you get another chance to prove that that team ahead of you is actually not better than you. So the 7-8 game, you only have to win 1 game. But if you lose that 7-8 game, then you go take on the winner of the 9-10 game. So if you're in the 9-10, you can't falter once if you want to make the playoffs, but you got a chance to win 2 games to get to the playoffs. So I think it's pretty neat the way that works out. But one good thing that I like about it, it puts you in the mind of the NCAA tournament. One and done. And because one and done is foremost in everybody's mind, you have to play your best ball. And now you start to see the NBA players pick it up and play like they're supposed to play. And like I say, it's kind of hard to watch because these guys are getting softer every year. Greg Popovich started that a few years ago where he started sitting some of the star players. And that's all well and good, and it makes sense from a coaching standpoint. But if you're a fan, you don't get any price break from when you go to the game. $10 hot dogs or $20 hot dog fried and maybe a drink. And you don't get any breaks on that. So if you're going to pay that top dollar price, you're going to want to see your best players play. But again, like I say, you have a legitimate reason why you want to sit certain players at certain times. But if you're going to do that, I think you should allow some kind of break to the fan, because the fan might schedule 6 months out in advance to go see this game to see a certain player play, and then that just happens to be the night when he doesn't play. I don't think that's fair to the fans. So other than that, it should be a good NBA playoffs. The real playoffs start next week when you get 3 out of 5 and 4 out of 7, where you can lose a bunch of games and still advance. So that's the only downside to the NBA playoffs. A lot of times the best guys don't play, and then you turn right around and you don't perform like you should every night, because it's kind of hard to outcoach somebody when you pretty much know what the other team is going to do. And I think this guy just be playing dog, So having said that, it should be an interesting playoffs this year. I'm not going to make any picks because my picks haven't been so good lately. But at least they start off with a bang, one and done, and I think that's just the way it should be. Sports for Real.